A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. What is the first one here? India ready to aid Maldives defense. Here, bilateral relations, aid. Aid means what we have got many a time. It means to help or provide some sort of help. Let us go to the next snippet. What is it? On a rampage. That's an important word. Here you can see the pic, or I'll go there. Here, on a rampage, thousands flee wildfires in Los Angeles. What is the meaning of rampage? Someone is on rampage, something is on rampage means cause heavy destruction. On a rampage means causing heavy damage or destruction on a large scale. And there's one word here, flee. Flee is a verb. What is the past form of that? Fled. Past participle, fled. Flee, fled, fled. What does it mean? To run away, to escape, to take to heels. Take to heels means the idiomatic expression, same meaning to run away. And you can see when it comes to fire, thousands flee wildfires. Wildfires is a problem in the US. Usually they happen in on the west coast, states like California, Oregon, and also is a word we have got many a time. Inferno. Inferno means fire on a large scale. And towering inferno. There's an English movie also. Huge fire, we use a word. And we also use a word, phrasal verb, an important phrasal verb. What is it? Breakout. Breakout means to start suddenly. Start suddenly goes with war, clashes, fire, diseases, volcanic eruptions, all these. So breakout. A fire broke out based on that wildfires, thousands, especially it seems, if you take California state, and Californians are known as the torchbearers of American civilization. Whatever happens in California, sooner or later happens in the other parts of the US than other parts of the world. And California, you have the Hollywood industry in the same state. And Los Angeles, many Hollywood heroes, they have the houses in Los Angeles. There's a particular place called Beverly Hills. And now because of this particular wildfire, the houses of a lot of Hollywood heroes got completely devastated, damaged, and turned into ashes. This shows and talks about that. Let us go to the next snippet. This is also an important one. What does it say? Diaspora Summit. Jaishankar kicks off youth event. There are two things you have to focus on. This talks about summit. Summit means what? Something like a conference, a meeting. And what is this summit? Diaspora, an important word. And kick off means to start. Here we have a phrasal verb, kicks off youth event. Jaishankar starts youth event, you can take it that way. But based on the word diaspora, you have to think of a few words. I've given many a time. And first you have to think of migration, moving from one place to another place. Then you have to think of two important words, emigration, immigration. Emigration means going out of the country, immigration coming into a particular country. And large number of people leave, then you have to think of the word exodus, mass migration, exodus. And from India, people go to the US, to the UK, they settle over there. And those Indians, for those Indians, we use the word diaspora. Indians settled abroad. Asylum also you can think. Imagine some people leave a particular country, migrate, large scale exodus. They seek shelter in some other country. And that country provides a shelter. For that we say political asylum. Asylum has two meanings. One meaning shelter, the other one, a place where lunatics are kept, mad people are kept. So many words based on this particular news item. Let us go to the next one. Next one says data point, centers share in states revenue sees a surge. Centers share in states revenues. Here two words, states. States is a plural noun. Whenever a plural noun ends in the letter S, we should use apostrophe after the letter S, not before the letter S. That you have to. You have to recollect the word fugitive also. Madhavi, very good. Someone who commits crime in a particular country and goes to some other country, then we use the word fugitive. And surge. Surge, we have got many a time. Surge has two different meanings. Wonderful, Naidu. Surge means sudden increase in something. We use words like surge, spike, and escalate also you can say, and hike also you can say. But hike and escalate go with different contexts. Spike, surge, they go with prices, number of cases. But surge has got another meaning. What is the other meaning of the word surge? Sudden forward movement, and it goes with water bodies, it goes with group of people. Imagine a group of people, suddenly all of them come together, they move forward, then we say surge. All that you have to recollect. States struggling to spruce up own income. Spruce up goes with gardening. Trim, one meaning, and it has got other meanings as well. Here Australian Open, Sinner and Sabalenka get the top billing. Tennis, you all know, when you take the Grand Slam, we have four tournaments: the Australian Open, the US Open, the Wimbledon, and the French Open. And they give the ranks to the players. Based on that, who got the top billing, it talks about that. Sixth, what is the main headline? You can see a pic here, a chaotic situation. Chaos means what? Total confusion. And when there's a chaotic situation, obviously it results in stampede. This talks about the main headline, 6 killed, 20 injured in stampede at Tirupati. You all know Tirupati, holy town, and there was a stampede. Stampede means what? Imagine a lot of people at a particular place and something goes wrong. They all want to leave through one particular exit, only one exit. In that process, they fall over one another. Some people may fall down and others may step on them. They may get suffocated. Because of that, they may die. All this is known as stampede. Thousands of people had gathered to collect tickets for temple festival tomorrow. Chief Minister Naidu expresses shock over the incident and directs action against TTD employees found guilty. Guilty. Some employees must have made a mistake, and we use the word guilty. Guilty has two different meanings. One meaning, guilty means everyday English. I made a mistake, I feel guilty, I regret. But here it is a legal term. Guilty means a person who has committed crime, and innocent, a person who has not committed crime. You should also think of words like push one another, jostle. Jostle means to push. That's also a good word. Unfortunate incident, see a lot of people over here falling over one another. People gathered near a ticket counter at Vishnu Nivasam, Tirupati on Wednesday. Rush for darshan. Modi launches projects worth 2 lakh crore in Andhra Pradesh. Prime Minister visited Visakhapatnam, and based on that occasion, he must have promised projects worth 2 crore. We have another news, a snippet over here. No mercy for accused in Anna University case. No mercy. Mercy means what? Kindness. Yes, mercy means what? Kindness. No kindness and no pardoning when it comes to the accused in Anna University case. Already we have got the word accused many a time. Accuse verb, it's a regular verb. Accusation, noun form. What is the other word you have to think of? Allege, allegation. Imagine you blame someone initially, you accuse someone. After some time, you come to know he did not commit crime. Then you stop blaming. Then what is the word for that? Exonerate, absolve, exonerate. Important words you have to recollect. Kind, you can also think of the word humane. Who is that? Murli, very good. Kind means what? Humane. But here we are talking about mercy. Show mercy. Kochi police arrest Bobby, someone not that important. Here we have a pick, goes with the season. Which season are we in? Winter, winter chill. But what does the pick say? A rowing on, row has many meanings. One goes with boats, another line of people we say row, and row also means a dispute, an argument. A boat on a stream near Srinagar on a cold winter morning on Wednesday. Words are very simple. Pick talks about what it looks like winter, peak winter in Jammu and Kashmir. Gold googly bamboozles important data. Bamboozles, it's a new word. Looks like it means something like cheating, cheat. Have you heard of this word any time? In what may constitute the steepest revision in India's trade data in recent times, the Centre has revised India's import bill for November 2024 by almost $6 billion to 63.86 billion from the record tally of 70 billion reported as quick estimates by the Commerce Ministry last month. Anyhow, here the meaning of the word is to cheat. Never heard of that word. One body retrieved from Assam mine. I read the snippet yesterday. Retrieve, a mining related, some miners got trapped and rescue operations were on. But today's news says one body retrieved. That means that one miner died or passed away. Retrieve means to get back. Usually we use that word with information. When you learn something, you have to consolidate. When you consolidate and organize the information, it becomes easy for you to retrieve that information. If you go to a library, you ask the librarian, you ask him, I need a book on Indian history. Within no time, he gets the book because book properly organized. And here, when you organize information, it becomes easy to retrieve the information. Whenever you learn something, you have to organize that information. Very important. APP, BJP spar. Spar also means what? Dispute, argument, conflict, all these words. Overspending on government residences. No report of any unusual outbreak pattern of HMPV in China right now, says World Health Organization. World Health Organization says nothing unusual when it comes to a particular virus in China. But the entire world is a little concerned and a little worried. But the statement given by the World Health Organization, no report of any unusual outbreak pattern of HMPV in China right now. Nothing to worry. Vikram Misri meets Taliban's foreign minister. Simple words, nothing to learn, goes with political news. Now, today I'm going to present the editorial based on the newspaper, not the designed one. Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, because of the sessions I have, I present this way, but you will get enriched. No second thoughts about that. I will touch the second one, not the first one. What is this? An important one. Cripple and scuttle. I have given the word cripple many a time. Mental cripple, physical cripple. Cripple someone means what? He is a cripple means what? Imagine there was an accident, someone met with an accident, and after the accident not able to walk. Then we say the accident made him a cripple, not functional. Cripple means what? Make someone or something not functional. And scuttle means to prevent something from happening. Here there are two negative words. Cripple, one thing, and scuttle, another thing. What is it about? Governments are discouraging the exercise of the right to information. I am sure some of you know the right to information. And related to the right to information, what is the present scenario? What is the ground reality? This editorial, if you read, you get an idea, an important editorial, because right to information is something very important. We need to know what exactly happened when something happens, and but it's not going the expected way. That's what the editorial says. Governments are discouraging. How can we say that based on the word discouraging? The exercise of the right to information. Nearly 2 decades after the passage of the Right to Information Act. This Right to Information Act, when was it passed? It has been almost 2 decades. It has been 2 decades means 20 years. Someone has responded, 2005, Naidu, Murthy also. But what is the present state and what is the ground reality? Nearly 2 decades after the passage of the Right to Information Act, it is quite apparent. We have got the word apparent many a time. Try to respond whenever you come across a familiar word. If you respond with the meaning, you will be able to consolidate. Apparent means what? Obvious. It is apparent means what? It is obvious. Nearly 2 decades after the passage of the Right to Information Act, it is quite apparent that governments, at least sections of it, are uncomfortable with the idea of transparency and empowerment associated with it. Why should we talk about right to information? What impact does it make? When you have right to information, you come to know what exactly happened. You come to know the actual thing. In a way, it results in transparency, the most important thing. And what is the other one? Empowerment associated with it. Once you know the real picture, you will be able to act properly. You get some sort of power to take a decision or to call for something. An important sentence. At least sections of it, the governments, at least sections of the governments are uncomfortable with the idea of transparency and empowerment associated with it. How can this is a statement made by the editorial? Editorial or writer, whenever he or she makes a statement, he or she has to substantiate. What is the meaning of the word substantiate? Justify. How can the writers substantiate or justify? By providing examples. Here, a negative statement about the government and the departments, how to justify that statement. Amendments to dilute its efficacy. That particular act, amendments, changes to dilute its efficacy. Efficacy is an important word, means what? Efficiency. Dilute its efficiency and attempts to defeat it by delaying or denying information have been quite common for years. Have been quite common, present perfect tense. And for years means for many years. Situation talks about 2005 present, past to present. Then we should use either present perfect or present perfect continuous. But this talks about a particular state. Has been, have been, he has been a student, he has been a professor. A particular state we cannot use in ing form. We have to use present perfect active voice. To substantiate that statement, amendments to dilute its efficacy and attempts to defeat it by delaying. Attempts to defeat that particular Right to Information Act. How? What are the tactics being used? One, delaying. You delay. People lose interest, they give up eventually. That is one tactic. And denying information, saying no to information. Deny has 2 different meanings. One meaning to say no, the other one to refuse. Here, denying information, they have been quite common for years. Another way to scuttle the law. Scuttle means what? Prevent something from happening. Here, preventing the act to be a reality. Another way to scuttle the law is to cripple the functioning of information commissions. How do we get information, the right to information, through information commissions? When you make those commissions cripples, then you don't get information. That is another tactic. Another way to scuttle the law is to cripple the functioning of information commissions at the central and state levels. These commissions are made crippled, they are not functional, then in a way you are scuttling the law becoming a reality. The issue has surfaced again. Present perfect tense. I always, whenever we come across a present perfect, whether it is an active voice or passive voice, I highlight. The reason being, English, we have grammar, 12 tenses. Of all the tenses, the most important tense is the present perfect tense. One of the differences between those who are good at English and those who are not good at English, those who are not good at English use past tense quite often, and those who are good at English use present perfect quite often. When I teach 5 uses of present perfect tense. And written English also, quite often we use present perfect. Exam also, based on that, they will ask a lot of questions based on present perfect tense, whether it is in active voice or in passive voice. Here it talks about the issue has surfaced again, with the Supreme Court of India questioning the large number of vacancies in the central and state information commissions. These commissions are not functional, they have become cripples. Based on that, Supreme Court has questioned the center and the state governments why these commissions have become cripples, why are they not functioning. These commissions hear appeals from members of the public who have been denied access to information or have failed to elicit a response from the designated information officers in various departments and institutions. This is an important editorial. You may get a passage related to a right to information, so listen carefully and try to read after the session. It talks about what is the function of these commissions. These commissions hear appeals, appeal a legal term. Generally, what do we say? A request, appeal, urge. These commissions hear appeals from the members of the public. Who are these members who have been denied access to information? Here we have who have been denied access. Again, which tense is that? Present perfect passive voice. Have been denied information, access to information, or have failed to elicit a response. Have failed to elicit. Elicit a response, a typical combination. Elicit a response. Imagine I ask a student a question. The student may respond, may not respond, but what is the intention? I want to elicit a response from the student, means expect a response from the student. Have failed to elicit a response from designated information officers in various departments and institutions. Those commissions officers are there, but public could not get the information from those officers, and it is another way of making the act making it functional. A division bench has taken note of the fact that there are 8 vacancies in the post of information commissioners in the Central Information Commission CIC. 8 posts are vacant, one thing, while 23,000 appeals are pending before it. 8 posts are vacant, and how many appeals are pending? 23,000. When there are 23,000 appeals are pending, they can't afford to have 8 vacancies. They are not acceptable. That must have been questioned by the Central Supreme Court. In fact, some state level information commissions are almost defunct for want of members to hear the public. There are 2 important words here. One is defunct. Defunct means no longer functional. And what is the reason for want of? Means lack of. Here want of means lack of. They have become defunct for what? For lack of members to hear the public. Any court is bound to ask, as a court has now done, how an institution can be of any use if it does not have persons to perform the required duties under the law. Imagine there is an organization and there are no members to perform the duties. How can is it acceptable? Not acceptable. Based on that, the court has questioned. Any court is bound to ask, as a court has now done, how an institution can be of any use if it does not have persons to perform the required duties under the law. If persons are not there to perform the duties, what is the use of that particular institution? Coming to the second part, what does it talk about? The court has sought to impart some urgency to the matter Generally, we use a word impart, impart knowledge, give knowledge, and here impart some urgency, make it something important. The court has sought, seek, sought, again present perfect, to impart some urgency to the matter by directing the Department of Personnel and Training to spell out in 2 weeks the timelines for completing the selection process and notifying the appointments of the 8 information commissioners in the CIC. Already the editorial says 8 posts are vacant. Based on that, the court has demanded something, has sought something, impart some urgency to the matter by directing the Department of Personnel and Training to spell out. Why is this spell out important? Very good, Naidu. I have already told. A common error, people say spell out in detail. That is redundancy. Spell out means to say something in detail. Then after spell out, you should not say in detail. That's an error. Spell out in 2 weeks the timelines for completing the selection process and notifying the appointments of the 8 information commissioners in the CIC. It has also asked for details about the search committee and a list of applicants for the posts. It seems the court has also asked additional information. It has also asked for details about the search committee and a list of applicants for the posts. Similarly, states that have initiated the appointment process but without any definite timeline have been asked to complete the process within a specified time. First, editorial talks about what the court sought from the center. Then it talks about what the court sought from the states. Coming to states, similarly, states that have initiated the appointment process but without any definite timeline have been asked, states have been asked, this is again present perfect passive voice, asked to do what? To complete the process within a specified time. Here, specified time, we can also say stipulated time. That's also an important expression. However, this may not be enough to bring about a revival in the fulfillment of the original purpose of the Act. Court may ask the center, court may ask the states to appoint the officers and to make the institutions functional, but the editorial opines this is not enough. However, contrasting word, this may not be enough to bring about means to cause change, bring about a revival. Revival means what? Bring back the old glory, bring back the original standards. Initially this level, later went down, and you try to revive means what? Bring back the original standards. About a revival in the fulfillment of the original purpose of the Act. Besides filling up vacancies, not all governments have complied with a court verdict of 2019 that called for proactive efforts to fill up vacancies in time by advertising them early. One thing is filling up vacancies, that is one thing. In addition to that, not all governments have complied with. Comply with, we have got many a time. Comply with means what? To follow, to adhere to stick to abide by. Besides filling up vacancies, not all governments have complied with a court verdict of 2019. What is that court verdict? That called for proactive efforts. Proactive means to take the initiative. Proactive efforts to fill up vacancies in time by advertising them early. The CIC's post was stripped of its autonomy some years ago when the government removed the fixed 5-year tenure and made it open-ended. There's a particular post. What is that post? Here, the CIC's post was stripped of its autonomy. Strip off here means remove, to make something or someone lose the powers in this context. Stripped off its autonomy some years ago. How? When the government removed the fixed 5-year tenure and made it open-ended. There's a problem here. What is the problem? Imagine a particular post is for a stipulated time period like 5 years. The officer will have but imagine the officer is very strict. 5 years, he will try to change the institution, change the organization. On the other hand, if it is not only job security, the officer will be able to make his mark. Make his mark means what? Do something positive and bring about the changes. But if it is open-ended, the center is not happy with a particular officer. They will try to change. Say state is not happy with a particular officer, will change immediately. That is a negative aspect related to that. Based on that, they lost the autonomy. Not much has been done to appoint candidates from various walks of life. An important expression I taught people from various walks of life, means different spheres, domains, realms, all these words you have to recollect. Not much has been done to appoint candidates from various walks of life, as retired civil servants continue to be chosen. They should appoint people from all walks of life. But instead of that, what is the present scenario? Retired civil servants are being chosen or preferred. A point noted by the bench in the latest hearing. It is inevitable. What is the meaning of inevitable? Unavoidable. It is inevitable that a large number of vacancies will result in a huge backlog. Imagine so many vacancies that results in a backlog. Large number of vacancies will result in a huge backlog and ultimately discourage the people from seeking information. This is a negative impact. Discourage the people from seeking information. Usually human nature, when we want to know about something, we are curious, we are inquisitive, we want the information immediately. But imagine you want information, they delay. Eventually what will happen? You lose interest and you may forget about that also. Sentence talks about that. Discourage the people from seeking information. Now, how does it end? It is difficult not to conclude that this is what those in power want. It is not difficult. Children are always inquisitive. Yes, Naidu. It is difficult not to conclude. Look at the pattern. It is difficult not to conclude that this is what those in power want. Those in power, what do they want? Reading between the lines, they don't want to give the information. And how can they do it? What is the tactic being used here? Delay tactics. We say delay tactics. They delay a lot. Then the person loses interest and stops asking for information. That's what they want. It ends on that particular note. I hope you guys have got enriched. And tomorrow I'll try to bring the regular pattern. Let us hope it will happen. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. Hello, honey.
Hi, sir.